So I'd like to welcome and introduce the president of the ECD Global Alliance, Kathy Brewer, who's going to close out the day for us.
Good afternoon. I want to start out by saying thank you all for coming here. I know many of you, this is your first time to be a part of one of these meetings, and it is because of you that we have these meetings. So I hope that you have found it a day of learning and a day of sharing with others. That's what it was meant to be, and I hope that's what you found it to be. I just wanted to talk a little bit about what the organization is about. I won't take much of your time, but we have really 4 submissions in the organization. We want to raise awareness, and we need to do that so that people can be diagnosed sooner when treatments will work better. So we work hard to try to raise awareness within the medical community so that we can have doctors, when they see an ECD patient, recognize it, get them diagnosed, and get them on treatment quickly. We also provide education. That's what a lot of today has been about, educating patients so that you can learn more about the disease. You can take an active part in the management of the disease. We fund ECD research. Some of the work you've heard about today here has been funded through the ECD Global Alliance. Very proud to be part of that process. And then we support members. Most of you, or many of you, registered with the organization. We got you connected through Facebook or chat sessions, different ways so that you can have a support structure in place. What we have to realize is that as we do this, all this takes time, energy, and resources. Oops, wrong direction. So this happens to be our 10-year anniversary. So at 10 years, we're taking a quick look back. We have funded $650,000 in research. We have a dedicated ECD registry that Dr. Diamond just talked about. We have 32 care centers around the world. The doctors you've heard from today are all representative of those care centers. There are lead physicians at those care centers. And we're supporting almost 600 families today. What I would like to ask each of you to do is to consider joining together to form an European chapter of the ECD Global Alliance. You should have received a paper like this in your packet. If not, they're still at the front desk. Please pick one up. And you'll see at the bottom is contact information for Richard Mortz. He has volunteered to try to get this organized and up and running. The first step is going to be fill out some paperwork. That's the easy part. The more difficult part is to bring everybody together into an organization. The advantage of doing this is that we can then start soliciting donations. There'll be tax implications. We can talk to pharmaceutical companies easier if we are a formal nonprofit or NGO in the European system. So I really ask each of you to look at that and take some measured actions. First one is just to email Richard. Please do it. So with that, I would like to really quickly invite Jessie up. Jessie is the ECD Global Alliance Executive Director, and she is the one who makes this happen from our side of the pond. So she pulls it all together, and I think everyone probably would love to give Jessie a round of applause. I think Jessie would be the first to admit she can't do it alone, so I'm going to let her talk a little.
You're absolutely right. So there's only 2 staff members for the organization, myself, and there's Chesney Green, who is the one you see running around taking pictures. She's done the Facebook Live, all of the media for the event, the support for PayPal accounts and everything. So she's been very, very helpful. So we're the staff members. So we're the only ones who are really getting paid for any of the work that we're doing. And everyone else is volunteer. So everyone that you have had the opportunity to work with while you were here, getting help, getting where you're going, is volunteers, including the doctors. The doctors actually take time out of their schedule to come here and speak, to share their knowledge with all of you. So please be sure to thank them. We could not absolutely do without them. They're all wonderful. Darvla, our MC, it's incredible. Please. Keeping our meeting on time and keeping us going and together and organized today was very helpful. We have Julie, we have Gotti, Sonia, Susie, Mike, and Jason, all in the background that's been helping you in and out all day today. Please thank them for everything they've done. Okay, so there was a lot of materials translated. We had posters, we had cards for the doctors, we had the evaluation forms, your programs. All the emails that you received was because of translation volunteers. So the doctors helped quite a bit with all of that information, but we also had some patients and family members that spent their extra time doing these things for us. So many of them are at home. We do have some here today, and I'll make sure and mention him in just a minute. Mr. Zaney, our technician person, has been fantastic. Please thank him and his team. The translation team has been phenomenal. And we also have, last but not least, Stefania Laus. And I would like for you to come up here, Stefania. Okay, so I may have helped get you here, but Stefania was here on site doing everything on this end. Everything you see organized and coming together smoothly is because of this lovely lady right here. And I'm going to try not to cry. So we have a card for you and a book about Louisiana, because that's where we're from. Also, there's been one volunteer. Many of you know him already because you've been talking to him up until this point. It's our Italian translation volunteer, Giuseppe De Simone. He has been he has been phenomenal in getting the patients here, helping them understand the meeting, understand the organization, and building a little community right here in Italy. So thank you for that. So I have a gift for you too, Giuseppe, but I'm going to bring it to you. So Kathy has some more thank yous, and I will let her finish off the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. I don't think the community can ever thank you enough for the blood, sweat, and tears you put into making this all happen. So thank you, and along with Chesney's help. So I wanted to also thank every one of the doctors who have been here all day, helping make this a success. I know how much each of you appreciate it. Could you show them with a round of applause? What I hear from everyone in this community is how different this community is, because the doctors and the patients work together, communicate, and it is a single community working together for a common good. I don't know by the grace of God how this happened, but I am eternally thankful. So, and then I want to invite Dr. Danya up, and he offered to have us host the event here in Milan, And we were ecstatic to be able to do that. We weren't sure how we were going to pull it off. But as you can see, it was pulled off, and it was because of this great man, Stefana, Marina, and their whole staff. Thank you for such great hospitality. And I have a little gift. It's a crystal globe that symbolizes the global nature of the ECD Global Alliance. So, thank you. And then I have one last thank you, and that is for Father Charles Balnaves. Father Charles? He's out. Okay, well, for Father Charles made a very generous donation that made this whole meeting possible. So he is part of the ECD community, and we're very grateful that he is so generous and allows this to happen. So we have a little gift for him as well that we'll get to him. So, and I know that Dr. Danya has some parting words for us. Thank you all. I've enjoyed being with you today.
I don't want to add much more to what Katie has already said. I have the privilege of knowing her and people from the Global Alliance for the past, let's say, 10 years. We meet here in Milan. We met at the first meeting. It was a pleasure working with them. And I'm really impressed about what they were able to put together. I think many of you may have come here interested with some fear, with some doubts or whatever. If you just take a look what is happening now, what has been happening for the past 7 years, how the world of this disease has changed, I think that this is the most strong thing that we can keep in our mind and our heart to go further, to be sure that the future will be full of success and satisfaction and possibly for better care for this disease. I thank you for taking your time from Milan, to visit Milan and to come from Milan, from different cities, some from the city, some from other parts of Italy, some from other countries in the world. It has been a privilege to have you here, and again, I'm so glad to have you here, and welcome again, and safe travel back. Thank you very much, and thank you, Kathy.